In the ancient world, the kingdom of Sheba, located in modern-day Yemen, was defined by advanced engineering and immense agricultural wealth. They had harnessed the southern Arabian landscape through sophisticated irrigation systems and controlled the lucrative trade routes of spices and gold. Yet beneath this veneer of societal progress and technological achievement, the kingdom's history was anchored in a specific spiritual direction. Their ruler, Queen Bilqis, was a highly intelligent monarch who led her people in the worship of the sun. To the people of Sheba, the celestial body was the ultimate source of the light and fertility that sustained their prosperity. This left Sheba in a state where a civilization could reach the height of worldly success while remaining entirely devoted to a physical creation rather than its creator. Thousands of miles north in Jerusalem, Prophet Suleiman ruled an empire of a different nature. His authority was divinely granted, extending over humans, the animal kingdom, and the unseen realm of jinn. Within Suleiman's ranks, the hoopoe bird, or hudhud, served as a critical intelligence scout. It was responsible for long-distance reconnaissance, flying far beyond the borders of the known empire. Returning from the south, the bird delivered news of a massive, wealthy rival kingdom that was bowing to the sun instead of God. Suleiman did not respond as a king seeking territory. Instead, his priority was the delivery of a message of truth, testing the queen's heart rather than her borders. The stage was now set for a confrontation where human material power would be measured against divine authority. Suleiman's opening move was a diplomatic letter delivered by the hoopoe. It was a firm invitation, calling on the queen to abandon her pride and approach him in peaceful submission. When Bilqis received the message, she didn't react with blind arrogance. She demonstrated her strategic mind by immediately consulting her council of advisors to weigh the risks. Her military commanders argued for war, confident that their physical strength and numbers would be enough to crush any northern threat. Bilqis disagreed. Knowing that kings often ruin the cities they enter, she chose to test Suleiman's character by sending a caravan filled with gold and jewels to see if he could be bribed like a worldly conqueror. Suleiman rejected the treasure immediately. He declared that what God had given him was far better than her wealth, and warned that if she persisted, he would come against her with forces she could not imagine. Bilqis reached a sudden conclusion. Her vast treasury, the foundation of her regional influence, held no leverage over a man who dismissed gold as a distraction. As the queen began her journey to Jerusalem, Suleiman prepared a demonstration of power that would greet her upon arrival. He challenged his assembly to bring her distant, heavily guarded throne to his court. A scholar in the assembly, possessing divine knowledge, performed the impossible. In the blink of an eye, the queen's massive throne was transported from Yemen to Jerusalem. Suleiman then ordered the throne's appearance to be slightly altered, specifically to see if Bilqis would recognize her own seat once it was removed from its original context. When Bilqis arrived, she was met with the sight of her own royal throne. The psychological impact was immediate. She recognized it, even while struggling to understand how it had preceded her. The teleported throne effectively ended her confidence in her own security. It proved that borders and military guards were no defense against the will of God. Suleiman then invited her into a courtyard featuring a floor made of perfectly smooth, transparent glass laid over running water. Thinking she was stepping into a deep pool, Bilqis lifted her skirt to avoid the water. This action served a dual purpose. It confirmed to the watching jinn that she was human, while forcing the queen to confront the limits of her own perception. This architectural trick placed a powerful monarch in a state of sudden vulnerability, caught in a public mistake before those she intended to impress. Suleiman gently corrected her, explaining that she was walking on smooth glass, not water. Bilqis realized that her intellect and her eyes had deceived her. If she could mistake solid glass for a pool, she could no longer ignore the possibility that she had mistaken a celestial object, the sun, for the divine. She did not respond with the ego of an embarrassed queen. Instead, she admitted she had wronged her own soul and declared her submission to God. Her story stands as a record of wise leadership. It shows that no matter a person's wealth or rank, the path to greatness begins with the humility to acknowledge divine truth over earthly power.